And we're live. We're going to start in about just under a minute. I'll just wait for you to join. Really amped today to be showing you ancient Thailand. This is a theme park, one of the largest outdoor museums or theme parks in the world, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to be driving on a buggy around this massive 200-acre complex, and I'm really excited to take you there. Now, what's quite interesting about ancient Thailand is that the park is actually, it's in the shape of Thailand, and I'll give you a little peek of that shortly. Welcome Deirdre, welcome Adriana. No worries. Hi Lethargy. If you're here and you just joined the chat, just welcome to say hi. We're going to start in just about a minute's time. So we've got Deirdre from the UK and Adriana and Lethargy and a bunch of you joining. This is something I recorded in Bangkok last month, and it's gonna be really awesome. We're gonna have a great time. So before we begin, let me just show you what this theme park looks like. So that's the shape. So it's over 200 acres, and it's this shape that you see is actually the shape of Thailand, and it's got over 100 buildings. So we're going to be taking a route up and going around. We won't be able to see everything, it's just too much to see in one go, but we'll be having a look at some of the amazing buildings. Let's close it up. Okay, hey Carly, welcome. Okay, so let's jump in our buggy, and I'll tell you a little bit about this amazing theme park, and then I'll go in and we'll talk about some of the specific buildings. So what's great about this park is that we've got something similar in China, but there are quite a few of these places in Asia, but it gives you, you get to see life-size models of ancient buildings that you would have to travel around the whole of Thailand to see, but they're all in one place here in Thailand. There's something similar in mainland China that I'm going to visit, and looking forward to sharing that with you soon. Welcome Susan, welcome Mark. Let's begin. And just for those who don't know me, my name's Matt, and I live in Hong Kong. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a place called the Ancient City in Bangkok, Thailand. So the Ancient City is the largest outdoor museum in the world, and it's spread over 200 acres. And it's on the outskirts of Bangkok. It's in another province, but it's quite accessible from Bangkok. It's about a hour away, and by train and then by taxi. You take a taxi to get there, and this is the beginning of it. So it's pretty easily accessible. It's about an hour away. And it features scaled-down replicas of Thailand's most historic sites, including temples, palaces. That white building in front of us is a palace, shrines, images of Buddha. There's a floating market, an old town, several sculptural gardens. There are also some original structures that were moved to the site to keep them in good condition. Welcome, Tarek. So that's the palace ahead of us. Locally, it's another name for Thailand is Siam, so it's also called Ancient Siam. Now, if you're coming here, to visit ancient Siam or ancient Thailand, there are a number of ways to get around. I've volunteered to take a golf cart, but they've got a tram that you can take around. You can also bring your own car. You can take a bicycle, or you can go by foot. I don't recommend going by foot. This is a massive space. It's over 200 acres. I took a golf cart, which is great. If you know Bangkok, it's very hot, very humid, and a great way to get around. So Lynn says, hi Matt, that area, I was just literally got home from Thailand about 30 minutes ago. So this area is called Ancient Thailand, and it's about an hour and a bit outside of Bangkok, but it's in fact in another province of Thailand. Yeah, so lots of ways to get around. I would recommend getting a golf cart and spend at least 2 hours here. It's just due to the distance, and also it's just pretty hot. Walking is not recommended in this climate. Now the replicas themselves, you can see them are like superb recreations of a high standard of workmanship. And there's just such a variety of what you can see. Now, if you're coming to visit, I would recommend coming in the morning. So that's what I did. I came as soon as it opened. I was there. It gets very hot in Thailand, especially in Bangkok. So I came early in the morning, but maybe coming a couple of hours before it closes is also a good time to come. But you don't want to really be here in the middle of the day. It does get really hot. So that would be my recommendation. We're going to have a look at this building. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. I'm going to jump out of the cart. So you'll see me jumping, stopping the cart, getting out. And I'll talk a little bit about the buildings that we're going to go into. Now each building has a little number. So the building we're going to go to is building number 30. It's a pavilion.
Ayutthaya used to spread power.
So this is from the Ayutthaya kingdom. Now, if you haven't been to Thailand, or maybe you have been, if you've been to Bangkok, one of the tours you can do is to go and see the ancient buildings of the Ayutthaya kingdom, and this is one of the recreations from the Ayutthaya kingdom. And there we have one of the palaces. So Ayutthaya used to be a very powerful state, and it was the capital of Thailand. And we're gonna get a little bit better look at the pavilion now. That's gonna be here. And this pavilion was where tribute to the Ayutthaya kingdom was bought. Yeah, we're gonna get a really nice view of it now. So the Ayutthaya kingdom became very powerful, and many cities became dependent on the Ayutthaya capital, and they were responsible for sending tributes to the king of Ayutthaya. And that pavilion was one of the places where they brought tribute. So Nikki's asking, how much does the golf cart cost? As far as I remember, it was about, I don't remember the US dollar amount, but it was about 350 baht an hour, which was like 100. I think it was like $10 or $20 an hour. Isn't it just beautiful? So picturesque to be here. And that fruit-shaped tower we just saw, I think we're gonna look back at it now. That was a popular architectural style. Yeah, that building over there on the left. During the pre-Ayutthaya period. And what it is a pagoda. And pagodas, when I first came to Thailand, I always wondered, like, what are these pagodas? They look like spaceships, or like rocket ships to me. What are they? But it's actually where the remains of kings and nobles were kept. That's what they were used for. Yeah, so I rented this little golf cart. I think I was here for about 3 hours, and I just golf carted everywhere. I got to see the whole park. You can see people. You can also rented bicycles. But the nice thing about being in a little golf cart, I could hold my gimbal and camera and could easily drive around with one hand. We're gonna come back to that side in a bit. We're gonna have a look at one of the little villages now, one of the floating villages. And you'll see a lot of these floating villages in Hong Kong, in Bangkok, especially floating markets. I worked for a TV show. Cheryl says hello, and Lynn says I went to Ayutthaya on an elephant about 30 years ago and I loved it. Yeah, so I used to work for a TV show, and in I think it was 1996, we came to Bangkok, and in the 90s there weren't a lot of people traveling, or at least in South Africa there weren't, and so a lot of the things were still quite unspoilt, and we went to a place like this that had a floating market, and I just remember the presenter looking. So he was in a little boat in one of these little water towns, and people were selling things across each other on these little boats in this floating village, and he looked very overwhelmed, very excited. And you can still visit these floating markets and floating villages in Thailand, although I did go visit one and felt a little bit like a tourist trap. This was quite nice because it wasn't they weren't selling anything, but it was just nice to get that feel of what these ancient floating villages looked and felt like. And so there's still you'll still find a lot of these floating villages in Bangkok and around Thailand. There's a number of them you can visit. And of course, Bangkok, there's a river that flows through it. And one of the tours we're going to be doing in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to go down one of the rivers and have a look at what life is like living along these canals and along these rivers. Look at that! Isn't that beautiful? If you haven't yet, grab a postcard. That's a great postcard moment right there. Isn't it cool to be able to, in such a, I mean, it is a massive space, 200 acres, but to experience so many different parts of Thailand in one space is quite amazing. I like to use this sort of space to have for myself. Like, I like to go to these sort of places that show examples of different things around the country to inspire me and give me ideas of when I want to travel the country, what places I want to go and what things I really want to see. So we're gonna jump in a golf cart. And head off to our next stop, which I think is going to be the Salah of Ramayana, which is really beautiful, and it's going to be a really beautiful space. Lynn says, we love Thailand and have been there many times. I've only been there twice. This was my second time. My first time was in 2020, right in the heart of COVID, just as I was about to hit. And then I left and went back to Hong Kong. But, and then I came back now in February. And yeah, what an amazing place. So we are now heading to a place called the Salah of Ramayana. Ramayana is very popular literature among Southeast Asian countries because it tells the story that praises the supremacy of the king. Who brings peace to the community in the world. So we're gonna go have a look at that space. Now, in ancient Thailand, there's about over 100 buildings. Oh, Bonnie says, hello Matt, I clicked on your link direct from the calendar and it brought me straight into the tour. Awesome. Just a little quick note. I have a Facebook group, and what I do sometimes, there's things in the tour that I don't always get to share, or there's something extra I want to share. I always put that information on the Facebook group, which is linked on my YouTube channel. And I recommend if you want to get some extra information or just find out what's going on, I post a bunch of videos on there. Feel free to join that group. Yesterday we did a tour of Khao San Road, which is like the backpacker central area of Thailand. It's like when you come to Thailand, you have to go to Khao San Road. It's just like, it's a very shocking and crazy introduction to Southeast Asia. Yeah, January is a great time to come to Thailand because it's winter. Even February is supposed to be winter, but as you can see, beautiful, beautiful hot day. Sue says, Matt, was it hot in February? Yes, it was. It's it's extremely hot, and even though it's supposed to be winter, it was really, really, really hot and really humid. That's why I was really happy to be in this little golf cart. I had a little roof, and I think there was even some aircon on it, so I was very comfortable driving around this sprawling complex. So at each little building, they've got a little number, and that number corresponds to like an audio guide, so you can listen to about and learn about each building. So we'll carry on driving. We're gonna get to the place that I want to get to. When I arrived, I said I always like to find out which are like the highlights of where you're going, because it's always very overwhelming to see so much. And so one of the people that worked at Ancient Thailand said, okay, these are the places you have to go see. So I went and saw those places, and then afterwards I raced through the park and had a look at everything else as well. Lynn says it was 39 degrees when we got on the flight yesterday. From Thailand. Yeah, one thing I wasn't aware of, and I'm sure Lynn, you can also tell us about that. This was in Thailand in February and in March. They've got something that they call the burning season, and I didn't know what this was, but it's when people in the north burn I don't know what they're burning, but they're burning something. A lot of the smog and the smoke comes down south, and so I remember towards the end of my trip, towards the end of February, the air in Bangkok was really, really bad. And Ancient Thailand isn't finished. You can see there's still construction going on. There's still work to be done. And Ancient Thailand is part of hi Jacques. There's Ancient Thailand. There's a secondary place dedicated. I think it's a special Hindu temple with an elephant with 3 heads. Okay, great. We're coming up to Salah of Ramayana. This is one of the more beautiful temples here. We're gonna walk straight in. Now I was in a little 2-man golf cart, but there you can see you can get 4-man, 6-man golf carts, so the whole family can come along and join. I just love the architecture and the design of these buildings. So Ramayana, is a very popular literature among Southeast Asian countries, because it tells the story about the king who brings peace to the world and to the community. And this 5 grand open pavilion at the ancient city was built in a pond used as either a public summer house or a place for religious ceremonies. And the name Ramayana it gets that name from the murals that are painted inside. Lynn says, yeah, we were in one of the islands, so the air was fine, but we had bad air in Bangkok a few times in the past. So just beautiful details. One thing that my big takeaway from being in Thailand and Cambodia was just the learnings. I learned a lot about Buddhism and also about Hinduism. And when we get to Cambodia, we're gonna be learning about there's some really interesting stories that are engraved into the Angkor Wat temples, which I'll be sharing with you when we go there. We'll be looking at the stories etched into the Angkor Wat temples, and then I'll also be bringing some photos in of the same stories shown in the airport, which was quite cool. Okay, and we're jumping in the golf cart. We're gonna go now to see. My impression of Buddhism was I never thought they had a concept of hell, but we're gonna have a look. I think it's gonna at the Buddhist version of hell. We're gonna go into a building and have a look at that next. Oh, doesn't it look so beautiful through the trees? Oh, Bonnie says, I've just discovered I can zoom my screen. Who knew? And there's more beautiful pavilions like this to come. The most spectacular one is coming up. We're going to go to the Buddhist hell, and then we're going to see the most spectacular one. Cheryl's asking, is Thailand safe for a solo female to travel around? Oh, there's my hand. Yes, I would say I think Thailand is one of the safest places to travel, and it's great beginner destination. Everything is really simple and straightforward, and I always think the greatest thing about visiting any place is the people, and Thai people are just amazing and so friendly and kind. Lynn said, did you visit the killing fields in Cambodia? Yes, I visited one of the places in Siam Reap. There was the one really tragic story. It's very, I can't even put it into words, but they've had a very hectic, murderous past. So we're going to get out now and have a look. This part scared me the most because everything is, we're going to walk into that lion and then see the Buddhist hall, but everything's motion activated, so when we walk inside, things are going to move and it's going to be dark and a little bit scary, so and this temple we're going to have a look at will be the next temple we have a look at. Really, really beautiful. Golden. Oh, actually, is there another golden one? There's another golden one after this one. I love that there's a waterfall coming out of this building. And we'll have a look inside shortly. And yeah, here we are. We're going inside. I was there by myself. I was really nervous. So you can see this is their version of hell. Just it being so unfamiliar, but familiar at the same time, just made it a little bit extra scary, and not knowing what was gonna jump out of you was pretty made it pretty scary. When that moved, I got such a shock. It's interesting that we have all these universal ideas that that we share that you wouldn't normally expect, but these ideas are universal. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep after that. Okay, great. Let's jump in the little golf cart, and we're gonna go off to probably my favorite spot in the whole of ancient Thailand. It's called the Pavilion of the Enlightened, and all around as we drive past there's more sculptures and shrines like this. This is beautiful, these beautiful sculptures cut out of wood. Yes, Evelyn, yeah, that was supposed to depict what I assume is like hell. Okay, we've got some traffic here. We're gonna head next to the Pavilion of the Enlightened, one of the most beautiful. It looks like this building, but it's even more spectacular, and we'll be getting there shortly. Now I'm looking at the bridge. That bridge has a snake with 7 heads. And I didn't know anything about the snake with 7 heads before coming to Cambodia, but I learned a lot about it in Cambodia, in Angkor Wat. Yeah, so you can see people have brought their own cars, or hired a bicycle or golf carts, and are using that to get around this massive complex. If you're coming to ancient Thailand, I really recommend take the train, and then when you get to the last stop, take a taxi here and then rent a golf cart. And it's worth spending about 2 to 3 hours here. It's a massive complex. And yeah, just around every corner there is something else. So there you got, so along the, at each stop they've got a number, and you can learn about each building. Oh yes, yeah, we're gonna see it on the building of Angkor Wat, the main Angkor Wat building. They've got the seven-headed snake and the devils in there, and the demons and the angels pulling it. But I'll keep that story for Angkor Wat. So as you can see, just a beautiful place. So overwhelming. So many places to see. I'm just showing you really the highlights. I'm referencing the highlights, but there is so much more to see. So many sculptures, so many other pavilions and buildings and temples. No, there weren't any places to ride horses here, although, I mean, it is a really massive complex, so horses wouldn't be out of place. But I think just because of it being Bangkok and it being so hot, and also that the road is paved, maybe not ideal for horses. So you can stop off at any of these gardens or pavilions. We're making our way, and it's just there right ahead of us to the Pavilion of the Enlightened. I'm gonna park there shortly where that white car is, and we're gonna walk onto it and go have a look. This was my first day in Bangkok. So it was such a freeing experience to be able to drive. Okay, so here we are. We're walking up to the Pavilion of the Enlightened, one of beautiful scenic spots at ancient Thailand. So the pavilion on the water perfectly combines the architectural styles seen in Thailand, Myanmar, and China. The interior of this Buddhist temple enshrines the statue of monks from Mahayana and Hinayana Buddhism. Together with the center Buddha, and it's when we walk on, we're gonna see some of the Buddha structure. So there's two types of Buddhism: the Mahayana and the Hinayana Buddhism, and we're gonna see some of the statues of those Buddhas. Cheryl's asking, is this ancient city called Myong Boran? Yes, that is exactly it. That is the name. So the man who founded the ancient city, this was the last building, the last work that he was involved in. And I think it's probably the most spectacular of all the buildings. I mean, there's so many, but this is really the most spectacular and beautiful one of them all. Now, when you look at if you want to see if something's Thai, you always have to look at the roof. That always gives it away. Like the way the edges go upwards. Whenever you see a roof like you see here, you'll know you know it's a Thai design. Yeah, and it was just so peaceful. Oh, there you can see some of the Buddhist statues inside. Unfortunately, you can't go all the way. But it was such a great. This is such a great place to start your holiday, because it's a great introduction to Thailand. And it's a very peaceful and relaxing space to be in, and beautiful as well. So everybody comes here to take selfies. It is the place to come and take little videos or photographs. This is the main point in ancient Thailand where people gather. And in fact, it's also where the tour buses. You can see one on the right-hand corner over there. This is one of their main stops. And now we're gonna be heading to one of the most, and now we're back in the car, one of the most eye-catching buildings. We're gonna take quite a long drive now. Vani says, I'm currently searching for flights from Perth to Bangkok in early Jan. Because of your tour, Matt. Wow. Well, I hope I've inspired you, and January is certainly a great time January and December are a great time to visit Bangkok. So we're going to take a long drive now to get to our next place, but I think I may have cut out a little bit of the driving just to save time. But you can see just really green, really beautiful space, and we're going to have a look at see what you're going to see is you're going to see a pavilion surrounded by water, and then around the pavilion this creature, and it really is one of the more spectacular buildings here at ancient Thailand. I think we'll even get a little peek of it from here, from one of the sides here. I do remember it being a bit of quite a drive away, but what I'll do what I do in this is we go to a lookout point, we see it, and then we're there, and I saved a bit of the driving. So we'll get there very soon. Oh, hi, Lynn. So I think we're gonna, yeah, when we get to this bridge, I'm gonna pop out. Here we are, and we're gonna have a little peek at the next building that we're gonna get to. This is also a great place if you want to take postcards. Take postcards here because it's really spectacular. So there you can see it on the left hand side. We're going to be going to that building. That's going to be our last stop in ancient Thailand. And just like that, I'm going to click my fingers and we're going to be at Sumuru Mountain. We're going to be there very shortly. We're going to almost jump across this river and be there. There we are. Here we are. Sumuru Mountain. Here it is. So, according to Thai cosmology, Sumuru Mountain is considered the pillar of the world as well as the center of the universe. On top of the mountain is the heaven, which is protected by the Indra god, that big creature you see in front of you. That's giant fish. And when this fish god turns and moves, it affects the balance of all the realms, heaven and earth, and it's really a beautiful, spectacular space, beautifully designed. As you can see, because it is such an amazing, huge, ancient Thailand is such a sprawling complex, you hardly bump into anyone. And then we have the river fish guard. We're gonna go now. I'm just gonna go to the side, and we're gonna get a really nice perspective of this, what's called the Sumuru Mountain. So all these locations that we've seen are all places you can visit in Thailand. But here at the ancient city, you don't need to go across the whole of Thailand to visit them. You can just come here and have like a jam-packed experience in one 200-acre area. So grab your postcard buttons, because this is going to be our nice ending postcard. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so that's ancient Thailand. I really recommend, if you're in Bangkok, take the morning out and go visit. It is an hour away. It opens at, I think, 9:30, so leave it about 8:30. You'll get there at 9:30 when it opens. And just an amazing space. And what you saw is not even half of the place. I've just given you a little highlights package of what you can expect to see at Ancient City. So Bonnie's asking, how much does it cost to access? So I haven't transferred everything into, I can just tell you in Hong Kong dollars. In Hong Kong dollars, it was like 100 and something Hong Kong dollars to enter, and then it was another 100 Hong Kong dollars to hire a golf cart. So I'd say I think I spent like $40 or $50 for the day. But yeah, amazing experience and awesome. If you do go there, I recommend hire a golf cart, because it is very hot and it's a massive space. And so if you want to go viewing and be able to see everything, do hire that golf cart. You'll be able to see everything really easily. So I just want to read a couple of comments. Susan says, thank you, Matt. And Deirdre says, wonderful, relaxing tour. And Lethargy says, thank you for another wonderful tour, Matt. Where are you going for holiday next? I'm still deciding. My brother's coming to visit me at the end of this month. And yeah, I may be going back to mainland China. May also be going to Malaysia. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm still trying to figure it out. But I want to show you what's up next week. Next week, we're going to visit the famous reclining Buddha. This is in the oldest temple you can find in Bangkok. And so look out for that. That's going to be amazing. The first time I saw this reclining Buddha was when I worked on a TV show and we went to Thailand. And then I think I was editing it and I was like, whoa, what is this? And I've always wanted to go, and I got the opportunity to go, and I'm going to be sharing that with you next week. So that's the oldest temple in Bangkok. That's where we're going to be visiting next week. We're going to be able to see the entirety of this massive lounging Buddha. So let me close that quickly. I want to read your comments. Nikki says, thanks so much, amazing tour. My first time on your tour, but I have subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Every week for the next not every week, but most weeks for the next 2 months, we're going to be visiting different places in Thailand and Cambodia. And I look forward to sharing those places with you. If you want to follow more of what I'm doing, you can join my Facebook group. Link is on my YouTube channel. If you want to get an email that comes out, well, once every 2 months or so, I send an email with all my tours. But if I also post all my tours, we've got a calendar. We've got 2 calendars. There's a Together Virtually calendar I'm posting on. We've got the other, I can't remember the group. If you could, Bonnie, if you can tell me the Facebook group name, I'm on that calendar as well, and I'm on all the Facebook groups. So lots of ways to reach me. And thanks for letting me know. And yeah, if you want to support what I do, you can. I think the link for buying me a coffee is in my YouTube channel. That helps just make all these tours possible. So thank you so much for joining me, and it's great to see so many people coming to enjoy this tour, and I'm really looking forward to sharing with you some amazing spots in Bangkok and in Siem Reap, Cambodia in the upcoming weeks. I just want to see if I've got everybody's comments here. Yeah, so going places virtually and together virtually. I'm posting on both those groups and Facebook. So those are all the places you can find me at. And thank you so much for joining me. All I can say is keep on adventuring, keep on exploring, keep curious. And I will see you hopefully next week. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, please give me a follow. If you want to find out more about where we went today, join my Facebook group. I'll post all extra links over there. And if you want to contribute, buy me a coffee, there's a link as well. Thank you so much for joining me. Just really inspiring to have you all join me on this tour today. So thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye.